Hi guys, welcome to TedRedwood Gaming. I'm Ed, and today we are going to be playing in the league against Go Ahead Eagles and SC Canberra. Obviously I played a few games offline. As you can see, we lost 4 in a row, so 3 in the league and 1 in the cup. I was tempted to bring you the cup game, sort of glad I didn't. We've since won 2 games against Almere City and Young Ajax. I started meddling with the tactic around the cup defeat because we weren't playing too badly, but we just weren't putting away chances. We weren't getting many chances as it was. We just were a bit of nothing. So instead, we have switched it up and gone a bit more direct, as I said I might do. So if we look at the tactics, we've dropped the wing backs back into fullbacks. Lots of backs there. And then up front, Van Pol came on and did a good job in one game, so he has earned his spot for the next one. He's also moaned about a lack of first-team football, so convenient timing. Again, he's actually quite large, over 6 foot, but we're playing him as a poacher because I brought him on as a poacher, I think last game, and he did pretty well. So that's what we're going to be doing. In terms of, we'll look at the wins, see who's done well recently. Eric Queckel scored, so he's actually lost his spot just because I don't know really. I quite like Van Pol. And then Young Ajax, they sort of dominated us to an extent. See if we can get the analysis up. That doesn't tell the right story. They were all over us. 50-50 possession though. We scored courtesy of a deep free kick, nodded down by one of the big lads and just put away by Van Pol, which is pretty much all the goals I want to score, hence why he starts. These games were just quite even, like I said, so no need to go into those too much. Anything else that's happened? I don't think we've had any more transfers. We've terminated a couple of loans. The guys weren't overly happy who were here, so well, if we look at the squad, you'll see it's actually a little bit smaller now. A little bit. And there's going to be a few more guys who don't really want to be there because they're not getting game time. Dynamics. Things aren't looking fantastic. Match cohesion, below average. Dressing room atmosphere, below average. We've had a couple of meetings about that. Yeah, the important players don't really support me at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. I think it's just because I've got so many loan players in, and they're unhappy. It's making everyone unhappy, so we'll see. But things have picked up in the last couple of weeks in terms of game weeks, so we'll carry on with that. Finances are just continuing to go pretty well, despite us being over our wage. Oh, maybe no, we are over our wage budget by £600 a week. But surprisingly well. I guess that's the joy of having so many amateur players. So hopefully we'll have an actual bank balance at the end of the year and might be able to make some transfers, but we'll see. Apart from that, all is well, and we'll get into it. Anything different here? So we signed a Frank Sturing on loan from NEC, who's sort of the parent club. He's pretty good. He comes in as our second best defender, so he'll start. Apart from that, we've had a couple of injuries floating around the squad. This guy's on international duty. I'll deal with that in a second. Yeah, Van der Sluis is injured at left back, so we've had to bring in this old dude, Niels Fleuren. He's got some pretty good stats. He's on an amateur contract though, so I assume he's not going to train and get better. He'll probably just decline pretty quickly at 30. But here's hoping that doesn't happen. Stoy van der Herrik moves into defensive midfield to be an anchor. Dogan has got his place back. He dropped out for a little bit after the first game because I just wasn't impressed with him, but his average rating's pretty good. Then we got backboard in the middle. Again, 192 centimetres. Great, happy with that. And then up front we got Kamachi, Bakila still, and then Van Pol. So I know I'm going to click this to go through to the game, and it's going to tell me off because someone has played for the reserves in the last week. I can see at the bottom. Right, so you're on international duty, fine. It doesn't tell me who the person is who's played with the reserves this week, which is most upsetting. Right, so I found the guy. It was Lorenzo Pique. Eventually used common sense and realised his condition was quite low, so he must have played a reserves game, even though if I look at the schedule for the reserves, they've not played for 3 weeks. The under-19s have played recently. But as far as I'm aware, he couldn't get in there anyway, so I don't know what's happened. But he's not available, which is a bit of a nightmare because he's actually pretty good. We are playing away again. No, we're playing at home against Go Ahead. who I think are quite high up in the league at the moment. Probably should have checked this before. Shows how much attention I'm paying at the moment to this whole thing. They're 15th in the league, so they are in fact level with us on points. We've got a game in hand, and actually if we string a couple of wins together we could see ourselves shoot up. So let's see what we can do. The point of this tactic at the moment, I don't know if I've started on counter. I'm sort of trying to see how the first 10-15 minutes go of games and then decide on what I'm doing from there, but sticking with the same formation, same team instructions, all that good stuff, and hopefully just no issues. But Go Ahead are attacking pretty early on. Now we are forcing them back, which is good to see, but are we going to step in and grab the ball? No, they've cut through us, and Sam Hendricks finishes off from inside the box. I think a couple of our defenders aren't happy. I think he's offside. So we'll have another look now. Obviously stats aren't looking great yet, but there's been nothing go on. I think we're looking at this number. I think we're looking at the number 9 in the centre. No, we're not. 19. No, he's not offside. Oh dearie me. Oh dear. Oh dearie dear. And they've got another attack here out on the left. They've just passed it into the box. No one's on the edge to clear. Again, forcing him wide is great, but are we going to stop the cross or get a header on it? No. In fact, was that an own goal? No, it's just their other striker scored now. So this has started woefully. This is the sort of game where I wish I'd started it on counter. Obviously, you don't really know until you get into it. I really don't know where we stand in terms of other teams. We've only really been outplayed properly once, I think, this season. The rest of the time we've just not been good enough to get anything from the game, but we've not been bad. So I don't want to start on counter all the time, but this looks like it's going to get painful. It's getting painful. It's 3-0. They just smash it in from the edge, and now is a good time to go counter. Because the whole point of the tactic is to not concede, get some free kicks, throw them into the box, and hope for the best. But it's just not happened. We're only 27 minutes in. At least we've had a shot. We've had a shot now, so that's good. Positive. Possessions sort of hanging around 40%. It's just painful. It's all painful. Why have I chosen this game? Where does this leave us at the moment if we have a little gander at the league? Oh, that pushes us right near the bottom. Again, the board were expecting us to be competitive. I don't actually know what that means. I don't know if it means we're meant to just try not to finish last or try not to get smashed every game. I've got no idea. The media predicted 13th and then sort of moved us to 11th within the first couple of weeks. So clearly we're not a bad side. I think we're just not picking up wins where we need to be. I actually see that Almere City are top, even though we beat them in the last game, or the game before, so that's interesting. We had a corner, nothing's coming of it though. It's back to the halfway line, we'll let me put down the right, so Kamachi crosses. No one fancies it. Van Pol's got it on the left though. Another chance to get it in the box, which he doesn't do. And they clear it. And it's 2-on-2. And I'm wondering about this number 9 in the middle because he's been left alone completely. It's a good save by Moose, actually, but terrible defending. That's coming from someone who was very average in defence during his own Sunday League career. Oh my word. I mean, they're playing a 4-4-2, or they're playing a 4-4-2 diamond as well, which is probably the issue we have. Because at that point, you're pretty much hoping that your players are better than theirs if you're playing the same tactic, and our players are definitely not as good as most of the leagues. Here they go again. Could have made it 4 or 5-0 by now, so I'm actually going to change it up. I haven't actually played with wingers just yet this season, but now might be a good time to try it out. So we're going to drop a striker. So I think with wingers you probably want someone else who's going to be working up front. So I'm going to drop Van Pol, even though I just promised him first team football. And you go attacking mid or defensive mid? We're not defending properly anyway, so I'm going to say what's the point of having a defensive mid? Van den Herrik comes off and Vliet comes on. So Vliet comes on. We're going to stick them both as support. Well, no. Actually, we'll let them play what they want. to this at this point. Or does he prefer more? He doesn't really prefer either. So we'll leave him as support. I don't really want to meddle with any other tactics, even though these guys don't particularly like being anything else. So actually, I'm going to try this for a few minutes. Leave it on counter, hit early crosses, probably not now. Take that off, exploit the middle, not necessarily. Look for overlap, have a go at that. Prevent short goal kick distribution, yeah. I'm actually going to bring off Hussein Dogan while we're here. I'm going to go for a triple sub in the 58th minute and just stick two massive guys on, which is just what I'm doing. With preventing short goal kick distribution, hopefully we can just get these guys to nod it down to someone like Fatty Kamachi to do something with it. Let's hope for the best. I'm actually going to put you on a deep line playmaker defend because you like it a bit more. Apart from that, I actually think we're going to stick with it. We're going to carry on exploiting the middle even though we're playing a bit wider now. Hopefully it just means we get it centrally sort of fairly high up the pitch and then we have runners from the wings. Again, I've not really played with instructions too much on this FM just yet, but that's the idea behind it. Whether or not it translates in the game, I don't know. By the building from the back, or at least we force them back for once, which is nice. Actually, we pick it up on the halfway line with the wing of Lié, who played at left back a couple of times, coming on as a sub. He's knocked it into the box. Fatty Kamachi picks it up on the edge, drops it for Bokila, smashes it into the bottom corner on 60 minutes. So, unless we go and concede 2 or 3 goals, I'd say that's a pretty good tactical switch so far. So, if we are going to be playing a diamond, I think I'm going to have to switch it up because our players just aren't very good. I know 1 goal is very early and probably not relevant to change tactics drastically or get excited about things. So I'm trying not to get too excited, but maybe it's just better against a diamond than my own diamond is. As long as it's better, we're not going to win that many games, but if it's better than nothing, right? But the go-ahead Eagles are attacking down the right, and they float it into the box and put it just over the bar. So we've had the goal, but that's about it really. Been told we're struggling to keep possession, which actually maybe we'll try now. I know we're a bit late. Let's go to control, see what we can do. I know it just looks like I'm clicking buttons and hoping for the best, and that's pretty much right at this stage. But now we're sort of a bit more attacking down the middle. Literally as soon as I press go, they have a highlight, they hit the bar. That was a free kick that was probably coming in anyway, right? Yeah, we'll just try and keep hold of the ball a little more. I mean, 39% is terrible for possession, however you look at it. Especially when go ahead were below us at the start of the game. We haven't really looked any worse or any better with a 4-3-3, but it's something I'll just consider going into the next game, which obviously could be hard if our scouts get it completely wrong and assume they're going to be playing a diamond and they're not. But there it is, full-time whistle goes, and we lose 3-1. I don't want to say I'm unhappy with them, but I'm going to. Wow, they look really bothered by that. They're really severely bothered. So 7 points from 7 games. Could do with at least a draw in the next game. I completely forgot who we're playing already. SC Canberra, who... How are you doing? How are you guys doing? Right, they're even lower than us in the league. How's their form been? Can I see it here? We've never done this before. I've never really tried to plan in advance. Right, they've literally not won all season. They're coming off of 2 draws in a row. So hopefully we can do something with that. Right, so we are back for the SC Canberra game. Only 1 change in terms of starting 11. So Lorenzo Pique's back in at right back because he's not mysteriously unavailable this week. On the bench, Samed Ostroprak, there we go, read the name. He got an injury, out for a couple of weeks. So he's one of the big guys I just bring on constantly because it's literally what I know how to do, is just go direct. So Anas, this guy, let's just call him Anas. He's back on the bench. He was unavailable last game because he was on international duty. To be honest, anyone who's playing attacking mid sort of is up against it to an extent because I do quite like Kamachi. I don't know if he's actually going to make a big splash in the league as I want him to, but let's hope so. So yeah, we're away at Canberra today, who are playing 4-3-3. I don't really know what that means, but at least we've got our starting fullbacks on. Nothing to lose here. I don't know. I kind of expect a win. Oh dear. Oh, and the assistant hasn't helped either. Because I said I expect a win. He said there's no pressure. They've not won all season. And I don't want this to be... I feel the panic already that this is the game where Canberra get their win. And it just drops us down to near the bottom. Right at the bottom, in fact. We are dominating so far. I don't know why I've not started on control or something. I'm going to change that now. Are we retaining possession? Actually, you can do that as well. Even though we're hitting early crosses and stuff like that, it's not really built for retaining possession, but I'm going to give it a go. They can't be that good. If they're near the bottom, something I should be checking as well. I'm doing all this on camera when I should be doing it off camera. Centre back, less than 6 foot. Second centre back, less than 6 foot. So we've got two relatively big guys on at the top. So this might... Oh, I stopped there because I saw the corner coming in. This might go well for us in the long run. I know we've not started very well, but maybe we need to go more direct than we are already. Oh, I'm just changing my tactics too much. That's the problem. I should let a couple of games play out. This is what happened with the series of losses. I sort of let my tactic play out for about 4 games, and it didn't really go that well. At that point, I decided to change it. So we've got tons of room here in the middle. So maybe being on control actually suits them a bit more, because it's giving us time and we're not actually good enough to do much with it, especially when we just knock it forward like that. Who's this going to go to? He's playing around with it. Right back tries to clear it, smashed it into Van Pol, and it just rolls into Bokila in the middle of the box. At least it says it's a superb assist. This is the sort of time where I wish I could show it in 3D, but alas, OBS will not let me do that. It definitely looks like it just gets smashed into him. A superb assist indeed. I'm happy with it. So we've got another highlight, starting at left back. Dogan into Kamachi, tries to knock it through, but Bakila's not really much of a runner. So Canberra get it back immediately, play out to the left. PK's there. This is good. We're putting pressure on in the right areas, and we push up the pitch quite early, which I like. That's a reason not to push up early. Rossi's through on goal for Canberra, and a good save by Moose. It's highlight heavy at the moment, this first half. So it gets knocked to Van Pol, who clearly just pushes someone off the ball and puts it into the top corner. So Moose assists the goal with a long goal kick. That's sort of what I wanted to see when it comes to having the big guys on up front. Literally just smashes it long. I don't know what's happened here. He's missed it. And then the second centre-back's missed it as well. So it just gives Van Pol a free run at goal and he just put it away. So far he's been really clinical. So yeah, can't complain. That's 2 goals in 3 games for him. And an assist for Bokila apparently. I don't think it was an assist, but I'll take it. So we're at half time and we are 2-1 to the good. I'll say I'm happy. They're happy. I'm just going to end it. I'm not going to tell the assistant to do anything because he'll just confuse matters. He said no pressure. I don't really believe there's no pressure. I think we should be winning this. Although I've said retain possession and control. And so far, we are not retaining possession at all. And both of our goals have come from, well, one's come from a defensive error. And the other one's come from a long goal kick, which has gone wrong for them. I'm going to leave it for a few more minutes. Then when I go to make changes, I might just stick it on counter. And Van Pol's just picked up a knock, so I think now is as good a time as any to make a couple of changes. So Van Pol, who do we bring on? Queckel's been quite good this season. He scored 4 goals in 6 games. So he's probably the guy to bring on, especially if we're sticking with a poacher, which I think we will. Could bring on Oyvind Hoas, who has come on in a game and not done an awful lot. But let's stick with that for now. I reckon backboard comes off for... I don't know who all these guys are. This is the issue. I've got so many players. I'm actually going to switch these guys around. So Van Herrick, our ex-captain, comes into centre mid. Back ball comes off for Bolerge. No, he doesn't come off for Bolerge. He's not the one I thought he was. It's the other one, Bergzog, the actual defensive mid. So I think he's the old man one. No, he's not the oldest one, but eldest. That's a word. So let's stick him in. Ball winning. I'm going to keep him on defend though. And Van Herrick can also be on defend. So we'll just shut up shop in there. I might even change Fatty around. I'll leave him for now. Let's see how the next few minutes go. But we'll drop down to counter. Stop retaining possession. We'll pump the ball into the box. And I think that'll do us. We're still on structured, which I just haven't changed all season. So it may or may not be a good thing. I guess we'll find out one day. But let's get going. Apologies for the quick pause there. My lovely wife cooked a nice romantic meal, which we shared as the kids are asleep really early, including Pepsi Max with, what is it, Captain Morgan's Gold Spice, because I'm such a pirate. So hopefully I'll be able to celebrate with that in a second. So yeah, we just made a couple of changes, freshen things up in the middle, as I see. So Kamachi with the corner, comes back out to Van den Herrick, who gives Kamachi another chance to cross. He puts it into the box. Queckel, surely he's been brought down. He has, it's a penalty. So could be a chance of 3-1. Let's have a look. Who wants this penalty? Not overly confident about any of them. Seeing as Kamachi's looking complacent, I'm actually going to give it to Bokila. Also, Kamachi's not having a great game. I know this will probably help him, but come on, Bokila, don't let me down. I'm actually really nervous about this. Oh god, I thought he'd missed. I actually thought he'd missed. Right, awesome. He has scored again, you're right. Right, let's make a couple more changes. We'll shut up shop. So now we're just going to go defensive. I know I've spent way too long on these tactics. I might actually cut some of it out. I need to get better at that and quicker at that. So scored the penalty. Great, Bokila's come off. So celebratory penalty. Penalty goal scored. Great. Their centre-back, one of them is having a nightmare. The other one's actually scored the goal for them. We've come from behind. It looks like we're going to get the win here unless they do something fancy now. In fact, they are starting to... I don't know why I've matched their formation either. Because, as we know, our team is terrible. And... oh, Narsing hits the bar. And we just about clear it. Oh, my commentary has been terrible there. I kind of just pulled a face. But it looks like we're going to get away with it. They're leaving the stadium already. Even though they've got a corner. And PK off the line. We're sort of holding on a bit. If you look at the stats as well, they've had 22 shots, 13 long shots admittedly, but they've done fairly well. We've just been quite clinical, which is really unlike us. Long goal kick hopefully. Kamachi, can you get anything on it? No, but we've got loads of people in there to pick it up, and PK is just giving it straight away, which angers me greatly because we had about 4 people lining up for that. But we get it back. Flurum, what are you going to do? Knocks it vaguely long, but not long enough. And Canberra have just camped it in our half. Pearson on the left for him, knocks it into the box. Oh, I don't like it. Get it out. They're going to come again. They're not really pushing forward either. They're just better than us on the ball, which I don't like. Maybe I should go contain. Narsing on the left. It's been a really long highlight, so I'm suspecting it'll be a goal. And there it is. What do you do? What do you do? I'm actually going to drop back. We're going to start wasting some time here. Contain. Safer. Time waste. Hit early crosses, yeah. Not bothered by preventing short distribution. Want as many people behind the ball as possible. That'll just see the game out. So we've got so many on defend now. Hopefully that's enough. I'm a little nervous, but with half a minute to go, they've got to throw in deep in our half. Manners puts it to Daniels, who might cross it, but we just get the tackle in. All he has to do is clear it out. Queckel, if you can get anything on it, but you can't. Please get a header. Time's ticking down, and I'm nervous. Narsing has it on the edge of the box. Kamachi comes in. Moose just hoof it. Nice. Queckle gets the header. And you think that's over. They've got 3 seconds to get something back. Daniel's out wide, but the full-time whistle goes. And I can't have my celebratory, amazing. I can't even say the word, can I? Celebratory? Pepsi Max and Captain Morgan's Gold Spice. Man, I am all over the place. I've had a couple of sips of it, but I shouldn't be tipsy yet. That'd be ridiculous. No one gave us a chance against a team that have yet to win. Look at that. We're up to 14th. We've got a game in hand over quite a few teams around us as well. Probably not safe from dropping down a place. Although our next game is against Telstar, which I won't be bringing you. But it does leave us at the end of the episode in 14th, so we've actually dropped down a place. But it's kind of tightened up in here a bit. Now, I'm not saying we've got a chance to do anything ridiculously remarkable. With 8 games played, I mean, unless Volendam win both their games in hand, say we did win our game in hand, we're only 4 points off the top, which I know is so ridiculous. Van Pol is injured, he's out for 3 days. But I'm really happy with that. So a loss against Go Ahead, where he didn't look too great, and then a win against Canberra. Happy, again, delighted. Next time I'm going to see you. Let's see, I played 6 games last time. I could do 6 games this time. I think it will be. So we're going to do Young PSV, so their reserve / under 18 side, I think it is. I don't really know how it works. And FC Eindhoven, so it's an Eindhoven double. So this has been TedRedwood Gaming. Thanks for watching. Please leave your comments in the section below. Again, still looking for feedback. I still don't know how to make all my Football Manager stuff really detailed and good. But let me know. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more, because that'll be coming up soon. And thanks for watching.